There's a little buck bass. Whew. Oh my goodness, look at that fish. Look at that little male fish right there. Actually, it's not a bad size, folks. Look at that. We got up underneath this bridge. The fish are moving shallow here at Roosevelt Lake. It's almost plumb full, man. It's great to see all this water up in here. You know, today, I'm getting up here where I can find some clear water. I'm actually looking around and throwing at some of these trees that are up here shallow, looking for some flat bays in here where I might be able to spot a bass, you know, up way shallow. But in the meantime, all I'm doing is throwing this little bait right here, which is called the Ica, throwing it backwards, weightless with a 5/0 hook, 17-pound test line, in all this flooded brush. Man, I'll tell you what, when you take something that's weightless like this and throw it in stuff like this, you can get very rewarded by some of these fish that are in these trees that you don't see while you're looking around. And of course, this time of year, early in the spring, I love to look around. And that's what I'm doing here today. We're up in an area where you will never be able to get into normally. This is crazy. I can bring the boat up in here like this. It's fun. I love being able to see. This is clear type water in here. We got a little bit of clear water running into the lake here. And anytime I can find that, right around the mud line or right around the clear water like this in the shallow bays, I can see the fish, like I can see the carp and all that. It really makes for a lot of fun. You know, you can get up here and see if you can see some of these fish spawning. Got it. Oh, little one. That's when you know you're in the little ones. Oh my goodness, look at that. You know, here's one thing to really seriously think about this time of year that I love. You know, you're gonna catch these little guys too. And I'm throwing up in the shade. They're less spooky up in that shade. They're out looking to hunt and find things to eat. But this time of year is the time of year you wanna start hitting the shallows and finding, you know, when the water temperature hits up there around that 60 degrees to 70 degrees, early in the spring, I'm talking like March, April, and even early part of May, man, you can catch these fish shallow. Shallow sometimes as you can get your boat, and you'll have a lot of fun with these fish. And boy, there for a minute I thought I had one. What's cool about this Ica is I can fish it really shallow, but then I can hit the deeper bushes too, and it's got a pretty good speed of fall, rate of fall, that it falls a little bit faster than a Cinco. And it's small, compact, looks like a little jig, and it looks like maybe a spider or a little jig when it's coming down. And when you pump the rod tip just a little bit and make it push forward and then stop it, these little tentacles just kind of flare out. And it looks like you know, they'll hit it sometimes when you just pop the rod tip a little bit. So it's a lot of fun to throw. The other thing that's really cool is it's heavy enough to where when you throw it in some of these brush piles, it falls just straight down in them. And you don't get hung up. You hook it up weedless with a 5/0 hook, and it's a lot of fun to throw. But this time of year is the time of year when you can get up shallow and catch some of these fish. What happens, these fish migrate from the deep water, and they'll come along here and then they'll start finding the backs of cuts. Any place you got backs of cuts, you know, flat water, not so much all this real rocky stuff. This rocky stuff is back here. I'm back here where it's clear. I'm taking what the lake will give me is what I call it. The clear water, I'm gonna try to find that. But you wanna try to find some sandy flats. If you can find those and get into some clear water, there's gonna be a lot of bass in there. Oh, there's one. Oh yeah, nice fish too. Little spinnerbait bass. That's a nice fish, folks. That real dirty, dingy water. Come on. Come on. No, 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 no. He's gonna jump one more time. Come on, son. Oh, he got you. The spinnerbait bass. There you have it. You know what we did was we took up and moved up into the salt end of Roosevelt, and we're just going down the bank. Now, this is awesome because finally, after all these years, I get to talk a little bit about this spinnerbait. And not that we haven't talked about it enough, but let me tell you something. We came back here, the water's a lot dirtier from the wash and all that stuff coming in. So we got more of a, I'm not gonna say it's completely chocolate milk, but it's definitely a lot dingier, muddier. The vision's probably, you know, less than a foot. Here's the deal. I went to a Colorado blade. One of my favorite things to do when I get into the dirty water is go to a Colorado blade spinnerbait. Chartreuse and white, put a little grub tail on it. But the key for this is the Colorado blade offers maximum vibration in dark water. And so something to really think about. Even in night fishing, the Colorado blade has done better for me than, say, the double willow leaf. The double willow leaf will offer you, the willow leaf blades will offer you maximum flash when the sun's out, when you have more clear types water. Not that you can't catch them in this water with it, but your odds are probably better with a Colorado blade. It offers more vibration. And when we have dirty water like this, a lot of times these fish have to use their lateral lines to fill the vibration to get food. That's how they do it. So they don't so much they can't see. You know, it's like somebody shutting the light switch out on these fish. They're so used to clear water, and then be like you reaching over and shutting the light switch out at your house at night, and all of a sudden it's dark. Well, it happens that way with them. Their eyes adjust, but in saying that, they can only see so far. So the vibration is the ticket. It really is. So that Colorado blade makes a difference. 3/8 ounce Colorado blade. Just gonna toss it down the bank here a little bit, see what we can't catch. We know it's springtime. We know the fish are shallow, but we had to get out of the other areas we were in. Just wasn't happening. Caught a few fish, and now we're up here, and we're gonna try this for a little while. There's one. Yeah, good fish too, right up there in that channel. Hey, buddy. Come on. Just had to I had to work my way up into this stuff. That's what I had to do. They're up there on the banks. You get kind of mesmerized by some of the brush out there, and you want to throw it, but yeah, they're up there shallow. Nice little bass right there, spinnerbait bass. Oh my goodness. I love it. I'm just kind of flipping this thing out there where I can find a hole, you know, and slow roll it. That's the cool thing about this kind of fishing. There's nothing more fun than having a new venture on a lake that you've been fishing your whole life. And with this lake coming up so high, it's at like 97% full or full. It's it's a lot of fun. Whether you go to the tonneau end or the salt end, either one, there's all this flooded brush, everything to throw at. And I'll tell you what, it makes for a better spawn as well, because the fry have something to hide in. You know, it's perfect. They'll have a good spawn. We should have some good bass fishing here. It'll get back to one of those premier lakes again. Oh man, I got bit and missed him. Got him. That's a good one there. That single Colorado blade gets it done, son. Come on in here. Oh, golly. No flopping around. Johnny. There we go. I'll tell you what. We're gonna have a lot of fun today, if that's the case. If that's the case, we're gonna have a lot of fun today. Boy, they're really, even though we don't have a lot of wind, what really helps for this bite, a little cloud cover and muddy water. I'm just finding a needle I can thread, getting it up there and getting the blades turning, and boom, it's fun. You know, today we are throwing the Colorado blade. This is a persuader bait here with a beautiful gold Colorado blade. Here's the deal. Like I said, the Colorado blade offers that maximum vibration for sure. But you know what? A lot of times when you get up in a lot of this wooded stuff, the reason why I'm throwing this particular blade today as well is because I can let it come over top of the logs and let it flutter down. And I'm catching fish doing that. But there's another good blade. If you're catching fish, like as soon as you throw in there a couple of turns, boom, or you're bringing it over a tree branch and you want to keep it turning, where you get maximum lift, is you can go to the double Colorado blade, or what I like is the Colorado blade with the Magnum willow. Now that's a Magnum willow blade. It offers maximum vibration as well. It has a little bit different shape to it, but great vibration to it. But man, what's really cool about the double Colorado blades is it offers maximum lift as well. So when you're throwing out there in the 6 inches of water, especially here at Roosevelt, where we have a lot of fish shallow, and you get up in those flats where you almost have to pull your trolling motor up and you're still catching fish behind all these trees, this is an awesome rig to throw right here. And you'll catch a lot of fish on this as well. And it still offers a lot of vibration, a little bit more flash, and of course, you know, bringing it over the trees, it makes it a little bit more weedless coming through some of those logs. So that right there is a great bait to throw. They also offer, if you are a willow fisherman and you just can't get off that willow blade, here's another blade that's really awesome. This is made by Persuader as well, Persuader Baits, but they offer a tandem willow blade, but this particular one has a rattle in it. You can see the little square little rattle in it. And what's really cool about this, it offers the blade a little bit more heaviness on the tip of it. So what ends up happening is you get a lot of wobble on it. So it not only vibrates a little bit more, but it has that little rattle in it. All this is for dirty, muddy water, and you want to attract those fish. This is the perfect setup for things like that. Now you can see it's silver on one side, it's colored on one. You can get them in colored blades, you can get them in just silver or gold blades, you know, whatever you like. But these are great baits, great blade combinations for muddy water. And so be sure to check these out and try and do some experimenting around. And you'll have a lot of fun with these type of blades. These are the blades that get it done in muddy water. Got him. That's a good one. That's a good fish. Get him out of the tree. This is why you use that 17-pound test line on your spinner blade. Oh my goodness. You know, somebody who's gonna be sitting home watching this show going, oh my goodness, I wished I was with my son, is my dad. That's his bait. Pop, that one's for you. Love you. Man, when I was a kid, my dad and I got into spinnerbait fishing, and you could not pull that single Colorado blade out of his hand, man. He wanted to, he says anytime he hops in the boat, where's that single Colorado spinnerbait I like? you know, if the fish aren't biting, they're not gonna bite his spinnerbait, you know? Give me that spinnerbait. Oh, man, this brings back good memories. Hey folks, for my tip of the week, one thing really important, you know, I'm having fun, I'm throwing over trees, I'm not in a tournament, but when you really are fishing serious in this stuff, it's very important to realize that your boat positioning is everything as well, and maybe not making real long casts. Remember, you're in muddy water, keep your trolling motor to a minimum of hitting it off and on, but the main thing is making these short casts so you can get these fish out of the trees. So, you know, you have a little lane or something like that, like I have up in front of me, make those short casts where you know you can get in there and get that fish out. If you have to make the long cast, then that's what it is sometimes. Sometimes we don't have a choice. But let me tell you something, you hang a big old 5 or 6 or 7 pounder in this stuff and you're way, if I was to cast way over there, I would probably get him hung up before I could get to him. So your odds of losing him are a lot more. So make the short cast, put yourself in position, you got plenty of time normally, and just make sure that wherever you cast, you can get that bait back. Not saying that there's not times. Sometimes you got to make that open field cast, you know, over some brush or something to get that bite. But the majority of the time, it'll help you a lot. Oh, got him! We got him! Did you see what I did there? Oh yeah! That's what I'm talking about. Look at the size of that fish. That's a little bit better fish right there, and he engulfed it. He engulfed it. Come on. Oh, this is so much fun. Oh my goodness. So much fun. Look at that. Now, you see what I did there? Now, here's some little tricks to the trade when you're doing this kind of fishing. What's really cool about these baits is, what I really love about the single Colorado blade is when you throw it out there and you bring it over a piece of wood or a bush, you can just stop it, kill your bait, and let it just kind of flutter down. And as soon as that thing came over that piece of wood and started fluttering down, he smacked it. And boy, you can catch a lot of fish doing that and have a lot of fun. Ooh, that wore me out. Oh my goodness. Now let's see if there's another one somewhere close. You never know. You just never know. They're loaded, loaded. Got him. Is that a smallmouth? What is that? That's a crappie. That's a crappie, folks. A big old black crappie. Oh, look at that. Look at that. This one's for Art Chamberlain. Look at that, son. On a big old 3/8 ounce spinnerbait. Anybody for a little sucker lee? Look at that. Look at that. That thing is huge. Man. I thought it was a smallmouth when I first caught it. When it first came out of the water, big old black smallmouth. Ooh, I had one flash on it. There he is. Oh yeah, he came back after it. What a day, folks. Look at this. There's nothing more fun than getting out and catching some fish, even in the muddy water. As much as I love clear water, when you can do this and have a lot of fun, look at that. This little single Colorado blade that I'm throwing is just a Bass Pro Shops little laser eye with a gold Colorado blade. It's been a great bait. Put a little trailer on the end of it so they hit it attacking a lot more. It looks like a little fish tail, plus it offers a little more vibration. 17-pound test fluorocarbon line, you gotta have it. I'm using the Taipan series rod, medium heavy, and let me tell you something. Bass Pro Shops Johnny Moore Signature Series reels, had a great day. We got out here, we haven't been out long, caught a few fish up on the main lake, really wasn't going. We decided to come back here, see what's going on. Cloud cover, everything's going down, but had a blast today. Thanks for joining us on the show. We'll catch you next week. I'm Johnny Johnson. Now, see, that's what I'm talking about, folks.